Welcome everybody back to the Amiibros. I'm Dave.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Oz.
And today we have a special guest with us.
I'm Sean.
And we just saw Fantastic Four: First Steps. Let's jump into it. Sean, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts were, I thought it was a solid film. I absolutely loved the time period, the way it was in the 50s, 60s eras. I absolutely loved that particular fashion. And I think the biggest thing that I loved the most, it was a solid quality film that felt like a comic book, but also kind of felt like the original Fantastic Four show back in the day, way back in the day. And I felt like it was a good step forward in a direction where Marvel's kind of heading towards.
That's fair. Jay, your thoughts?
I've never really had a strong connection with the Fantastic Four, and so this movie, I didn't really expect much. I knew it was going to be a cornerstone for this portion of the Marvel phase, whatever we're even in now. They're doing everything they can to correct the course, and I think they're on the right path, because this movie and Thunderbolts are kind of marking, they're above mediocre. They're good movies. They're not great movies. And that's one thing I noticed in our tier list. It kind of took some build up before we got the great movies. Like Iron Man was awesome from the get-go, right? And that was very hard to top. But then you had all of these other great movies after it that came later. And I think Marvel is starting to realize that they need to let us care about these characters before they can have these giant moments. And I'm really glad that they're finally fixing that. And so that's where I'm at with this movie. It's a good movie, and it's like Thor, like the first Captain America. It's a good movie.
That's fair. I have similar thoughts to it. I went into it with very low expectations. I have a hard time avoiding spoilers and discussion on the internet when it comes to upcoming movies. So I knew a lot about the movie going into it, and a lot of what was being said online made me think this movie was going to be a stinker. I walked out of there surprised. I didn't hate the movie. Now, I don't know if my feelings on
That's
it...
some high praise.
Yeah. Just because I didn't hate the movie doesn't mean I think it's an S-tier movie. I need to get that point out of the way. I think it was enjoyable. You know, when we compare it to the other iterations of the Fantastic Four we got, I care about these people. I think especially The Thing, played by Eben Moss, was probably my favorite of the four, you know, being like a homebody, followed closely by Johnny Storm. Just solid, you know, introductions to the characters. It once again follows that theme, the new thing where we skip past the formalities and origin stories of these characters and jump straight into their early years as these characters.
Can I also add, I think the way they handled their origin story was great. I think that was actually well done. Continue.
Definitely. I liked the movie. I walked out of there satisfied, more so than I thought I would. And Oz, what are your thoughts?
I think I'm going to be the most negative. It seems like it's gotten more and more negative as it's gone down. Sean really liked it. Jay really liked it. You seem to like. I'll say this. I think it's good as far as this phase of the MCU goes. I liked Thunderbolts more, and I think my main problem with this movie is that the characters, I was like, what are we missing? There's something missing here that I don't think I'm quite connecting with, and I don't know if it was like Richards, because every Reed, I'm thinking every Reed. I really just mean like the first two Fantastic Four movies. That Reed Richards is like, you know he's smart and he's likable. This Reed is just not likable at all. I just didn't care about this Reed. And I'm like, he's boring. I'm like, I'm a Pedro Pascal fan. I like Pedro Pascal. But this guy's boring in this movie. I'm like, there's moments where I'm like, how do we get so little of the Thing and so little of Johnny and so much of Sue and Reed, which is fine. And I think Sue, I've got some nitpicks, but Sue as a whole, I like her character a lot. And I think that she's the most developed in this movie. I think she's awesome. I think Vanessa Kirby, I don't know if she has an accent, I don't know what was going on, but you can tell her voice lines were dubbed over. Whatever she was saying was not what the movie was projecting. I felt like there was a disconnect there where I'm like, I'm not looking at the same, I'm sounding way more negative than I am. I think it's a fine movie. I went in with really high expectations because the buzz around this movie was insane. And I left going, it's fine. It's a fine movie. And my main problems lie with the characters not being fully fleshed out. Like, it's not even 2 hours, is it? It's like barely 2 hours.
It's about barely 2 hours.
I think that's the distinction here, though, is I had zero expectations, and it sounds like you had high expectations,
Yeah.
and I didn't go into this caring
But
about the
even-
Fantastic
I
Four.
had low expectations.
I walked in thinking this movie was gonna flop, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
See, so I guess,
Well, I guess, like we were talking about, like I had my bar, like the bar for the previous Fantastic Fours was already pretty low. It's kind of hard to beat a low bar. So I'm like, okay, as long as it's better than the previous ones, I'll be okay with it. So before I even did this, I watched every single Fantastic Four movie, and I'm like, okay, if it's better than these 3 movies, then I'll be happy. Like that was kind of my main point.
and also, I think the villains, weirdly enough, this is a movie where the villains are like way cooler than
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
I think we're getting a little too close.
No, I'm absolutely not getting close into spoilers. I think you already know from the trailers that Silver Surfer and Galactus are in this movie.
Right.
Those 2 characters, I think, are more interesting than our core characters. Do you guys agree?
I feel like
I see what you're saying.
They have more to do.
Yeah,
they have. Our Silver Surfer has more of an arc than our heroes do.
I think-
and maybe it's because we're skipping the origin story, so we're not seeing the character arcs, which is becoming a problem here.
I can
Where
see that.
Superman didn't have that problem. I feel like Superman had an arc in that
Superman
movie.
did have a great arc.
Yeah,
and
I
I think
get-
that's the
and-
big difference between this movie
Yeah.
and that movie.
I agree.
These movies start pretty similarly, where I think this says it's been 4 years. Superman's been 3 years.
Yeah.
The execution in these 2 movies is so different, where obviously we're skipping the origin story, but our characters don't get an arc. But the villains are awesome. The style of this movie for the first 20 minutes is really cool. That's something we haven't seen in a Marvel movie, and it kind of sputters in and out throughout the movie, that same kind of 60s retro style.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
The score by Michael Giacchino is great, but
I don't know. I think the reason why maybe we felt kind of disconnected from this, like I had the same bit of feeling that you did. Like I didn't connect with the core group as much, but I think the reason why they did that was it's the same thing as like the previous Spider-Mans, Supermans, and everything. Like we've already seen the origin of Fantastic Four twice. We already know what it is. We all know the origins of them, and because of that, they were kind of like, hey, everyone already knows who they are. We need to focus on the Silver Surfer and Galactus because they're going to be, I believe, down the future in the MC.
You know, I think you're right in the way that they were thinking, but they're wrong. I don't know anything about the Fantastic Four because I don't care about their characters because I've never had a reason to. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman are characters that I care about because they actually have media to back it up. Fantastic Four doesn't have that, and I've never cared about the comics Fantastic Four. I know there's a lot of people that do, that skipped my generation. I think none of us do, right? Am I right with that?
I did a little bit, and I'm
don't care.
I mean, when I was growing up, the 2 original films back in the day, I liked them. I didn't love them, but I watched them enough times that I know
Okay,
about them.
I didn't.
Okay.
I missed that. And so when you went into the Batman, did you care about that movie? Did you care about Batman?
Yeah. Number 1 Batman.
Why?
Glazer.
Yeah.
I would.
Because you already cared about him.
Yeah.
I don't care about these guys. I don't. Bottom line. And they haven't given me a reason to care about them.
Jay's cooking.
Do you think this movie gave you a reason to care about that?
Yeah, I think it did. I was like, oh, I feel like this is like a family unit that cares about each other, and that makes me care.
I will say, yeah, that is something that this movie does. I think that you do feel the love that these characters have for each other from the get-go. It's not like Ben hates Johnny. No, it's like they got like a beef, like a friendly beef, and
Right.
friendly rivalry, and it's fun. And everybody, you can tell they all love each other.
I think we could have gotten an origin story.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think, thinking about it a little more, there is a pacing problem. The movie kind of it starts out and then it just picks up and goes, and it doesn't stop until the credits roll. Like, there's no chance to really take a second and smell the roses. It's just boom, 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 and then credits.
Yeah.
And I will say, I don't feel like I had whiplash from it. It does feel like everything kind of just came and went, and I think that's because it was such a short movie.
Yeah.
And maybe instead of having that exposition in the beginning that explained, who they are and what they've been doing the past 4
We
years.
could have just had that movie.
Exactly. Cut that and drop in maybe like another 15 to 30 minutes of that mission that went wrong where they got their powers. Maybe that would change the pacing
I don't think this is an origin story. You don't go from just getting your powers to taking on Galactus. They needed to be seasoned heroes. I feel like they fast-tracked too much here. And Galactus should not have been used for this, in my opinion.
Well, shoot, we all want to talk about the spoilers, so before we get in there, I think we should go around the circle and just give our, final scores. Sean?
Okay. Out of 10, I give it like a 7.5, to be honest. Good popcorn film to go into just to enjoy it. But if you're a big Marvel fan, you may have some problems with it, but I feel like it's a good corner. It's going to be a new cornerstone, like Thunderbolts and so on and so forth. It's going to be a solid little bit future film for everyone to connect with. But I think there's some problems with it, but it's good enough to go to and enjoy it. So
That's fair. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Give it a
final
high
score, I guess.
High 7, low 8. Good movie. Pretty middle of the road, though.
That's fair. I'm thinking the same thing. I'd say 7. Maybe if I sleep on it, it might go up. I don't see it going lower than a 6 in my head. I have a very casual look on movies, and I rank my movies based off of if I would want to watch it again and how much I would want to watch it again. I think I would much rather watch Thunderbolts over this again. Oz?
I think my score out of 10, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I think it's a good time. You'll have a good time at the theater. I just don't know if I'm going to ever want to rewatch this. And it's fine.
Yeah.
I disagree. But hey, that's why we're here.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a discussion. Yes. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Be sure to keep an eye out for our spoiler talk. We're going to be talking about the spoilers of the movie shortly after this. Did you watch it? Did you guys like it? Did you hate it? Let us know. Let me know if you think Jay's take was bad. Let me know if you think Oz's take was bad.
One of us is wrong.
Or
all of us.
Maybe we just have differing opinions.
Nah, one of us is wrong, and they're going to tell us.
Those guys.
Tell us down below.
That's fair. Tell us down below. Make sure you comment. We love having discussions down there with you guys. Like, sub, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.